Hello everyone, this is James Nussbaumer, and I am the author of a great book called The Master of Everything, a story of mankind in the world of illusion we call life. I call it a spiritual manifesto to making a better world and helping others in the world live better lives as well. The title of this video tonight is about healing the homeless in the world. You may notice that you're seeing me wearing a tie right now, and if you know me, you know that I hardly ever wear a tie. You know, for 25 years that I spent in the financial services business, it seemed like I was one of the yuppies, they called them in those days, and I wore a tie and three-piece, two-piece suits every single day of the week. Now the only time that I wear a tie is, well, I did last month when I attended my nephew's wedding, out of respect for him and his lovely bride. And the reason I'm wearing the tie tonight is out of respect for the homeless in this country, the United States of America, and around the world. You see, the homeless population is too often misunderstood, where dignity needs to be restored. And with the necessary resources, helping others around the world get back on their feet is a mission that you can mindfully be proud of if you get involved with it. And that's what this video is about. I am the founder of a new nonprofit called the Hopeful Haven Corporation, a nonprofit that is being built right now and being launched. I am living proof myself that if I can rebuild myself at age 58, where 8 long horrific years in prison left me stripped in many ways, so can others too get back on their feet. I ask for your support in building this campaign for a non-profit organization to help reaffirm hope for the homeless people around the world. It's a group of people, a group in society that is invisible and often forgotten. Compared to other vulnerable groups, unique challenges exist. People become homeless for a variety of reasons. They're often not the bums that we make them out to be. Homelessness is primarily an economic problem, and it's also affected by a number of social and political factors that we can really overcome. Thanks for listening to me so far, but please listen on just a little bit further. Most people may ask themselves why they should care to get involved in a campaign like helping the homeless. You know, a psychologist friend of mine I know telephoned me on the same day I was released from prison after 8 long years for a foolish securities violation. He agreed with me that healing takes place in the mind. He spoke of the vulnerability issue and convinced me that for my own healing, I needed to begin giving of myself and become involved in a campaign for some group in society who struggles. When I walked out that prison gate on March 4th, 2015, yes, less than a year ago now as this video is being made, after 8 long years, all I had to my possession was a stack of my handwritten journals safely tucked under my arms. This harsh sentence given me was overtly political during a period of panic and abuse in the investment industry back in 2007. A judge was seeing his way to use me as an example. While behind bars, I began to write about what I was seeing, and my treasured material, the hard writing that I did every single day while I was away, went directly to Ozark Mountain Publishing Company, who saw it their purpose to get involved and offer me a publishing contract for my books. Let me tell you that this ignited elation in me helped restore my dignity, and I was soon able to get on my feet. I was very fortunate. When I researched and discovered many of the reasons for the homelessness around the world and in their loss for dignity that these homeless people experience, I was in shock that a nation such as the United States of America could allow this problem to escalate so out of control. My psychologist friend told me it was okay to let people raise money for this cause, to let them help me, especially with my own great desire to help others by building this campaign for the homeless. When we speak of diversity, there is one group in society that is invisible and often forgotten. It's the homeless, compared to other vulnerable groups, like I had just said a little bit ago. But my point is the number of homeless women, men, and youth is often minimal, but but present unique challenges for policymakers, service delivery agencies, and citizens. According to the National Student Campaign, in the United States alone, more than 3.5 million people experience homelessness each year for a numerous, ungodly amount of reasons why they're homeless. My psychologist friend knew all along while I was in prison what I had been working on, and that I have finally met a challenge that feels bigger than me and almost too big to face alone. You know, he said to me, amazingly, it takes a village of good people from every facet of life to see it a reason for them to get involved. By turns, my literary work has drawn a mainstream publisher, and my relationship with them continues to grow. I'm so grateful to my publisher, Ozark Mountain. But now I have the commitment of building a platform and coordinating programs for the homeless. Something I'm committed to, and it's not going to go away. A mountain is ahead of me with all the legal and the technical issues that are involved and the implementation of everything. While advocacy is critical to creating systematic changes needed to end homelessness, I'm gladly working on a job myself to support myself while continuing to write and study and also contributing to the cause. There's no doubt my securing a publisher was as arduous as any writer suffers, with years of querying publishers and the normal barrage of rejections, along with the difficulty of communicating with them from inside of a prison. But I did it. I got her done, so to speak. And so can others who are down on themselves rise above adverse situations, no matter how low they are. So my point is, this is proof that I have the drive to lead this campaign, and now at age 58 years old, and with your support, I'm giving it my sincere effort to help others get up out of the gutter and help even more from falling prey, helping more people from falling prey to the sheer desperation that led to my own errors, which landed me in prison, a mere hard fall, if you will, that resulted in my harsh prison time. But that's now behind me. I've put it behind me, and with your help, together we have the potential to help make a better world. The advocacy I just mentioned means working with people experiencing homelessness to bring about positive changes in policies and programs in the local, state, and federal levels. You know, when speaking of diversity, I've always been concerned all my life about the homeless, but never really understood why they are homeless, but now I do. While economic factors are the main cause of homelessness, long-term issues like mental illness, drug addiction, alcoholism, and many more can exacerbate situations of poverty and put people at greater risk of homelessness. But unlike years prior and generations past, today, in this generation, we seem to be more in tune for helping tackle these root causes. And that seems to be something that generations to come are going to only be extended into generations to come. We're helpful people more than we were years past. We're not as blameful. We want to help because we realize people need second chances. The world is changing for the good. It's called healing of the mind. Will you help me to make this possible? I promise to send you updates and progress reports through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and other social media outlets, because I know so many of you turn there for optimistic outlook. It's no surprise, for example, when someone is released from a lengthy prison term like I was and re-enters society, that there can be extreme financial hardship. But like I mentioned earlier, I'm fortunate. I was lucky. I had a good family behind me. I landed a publisher who believes in me. I was fortunate. But people need to know what's going on, and there's no time like now to take action in a great desire to offer something positive. I cheerfully celebrated the publication of my first book of this ever-developing series. It's an inspirational and uplifting series that is being contracted right now, and I'm released from prison, and I briefly experienced that homelessness, but and can see where people are coming from. But now I'm developing strategies in small ways that may contribute to larger changes in the way people experience homelessness. But there are necessary promotions, resources, and more while I continue to build this nonprofit, write, study, learn, and yet promote more in being involved with all that must be addressed. You know, I've calculated startup costs and didn't know where to start at and putting things in place. So just so to attract several groups like churches and other organizations around the world who may want to host quality shelters, food pantries, and other rehabilitative programs. You know, please go on if you'd like and click on the link to GoFundMe in the description box of this YouTube video. Thank you kindly for your attention, but let me add, when you visit my site at GoFundMe, you will see basically what I just discussed just now. Plus you will be able to read my 4 real easy reasons why you would want to donate and share with your networks for this enthusiastic, extremely optimistic man, me, my optimistic advocacy and campaign to offer something positive. My GoFundMe link, like I just said, is in the description box of this YouTube video. Thank you so much for listening to me. I really appreciate your time, and I wish the best for you, and together I believe we can really make a difference in this world. That's what's happening with generations to come. Thank you again.